Students, welcome back to online classes. I am Kalyani, Biological Science teacher, KGBV, Marripadu, SPSR, Nellore district. Today, we are going to discuss the chapter 8th class Biology, Reproduction in Animals.
Reproduction is an important life process. If we look at the different life process of animals, there are different process like nutrition, digestion, respiration, transportation, excretion, and also include reproduction. So, reproduction is a life process of an organism which enable it to use new generation. So, reproduction is the producing of their own kind. This is the ability of organisms. The reproduction is seen in both plants and it is seen in animals also. So, in our lower classes, you have studied reproduction in plants. 7th class, you studied about the reproduction in plants. Now, let us look at the reproduction in animals. How animals reproduction? So, in animals, generally, we see two different kinds of reproduction. The process of reproduction take place into different ways. In animals, we see that animals laying eggs and animals giving birth to young ones. So certain animals they give birth to the young ones and some animals they lay eggs. The eggs will be hatched young ones, so different ways. So how let us see the animals the lay eggs and animals that give up to the young ones. They have some different features. Their body features, there are certain difference in the external body features. Let us observe some animals and their external features. Then we will study these two different methods of reproduction in animals. So, how we going to find is there immediately between the external features of an animals and its methods of reproduction. So that means we are looking whether the external body features will they give any clue about their mode of reproduction, that is laying eggs, move, pairs or giving birth to the young ones. Viviparous. So, animals that lay eggs are called oviparous animals, and animals that gives birth to the young ones directly are called viviparous animals. So, here we have a list of animals: deer, leopard, pig, fish, buffalo, giraffe, frog, sparrow, lizard, crow, snake, elephant, cat. So, among this list, we are going to divide if into two groups depending upon the external features. External ear. See, you have an external ear on our face. So, we have an external ear. We are going to see whether which animals have the external ear and which animals do not have the external ear. And we are going to make two groups of this whole set into two groups. One group with external ear, the other group without external ear. Deer, it is having external ear. Leopard is also having external ear. Pig is having external ear. Buffalo is having external ear. and giraffe is having external ear. Elephant having external ear. Frog is not having external ear. Sparrow is not having external ear. And the lizard is not having external ear. Crow is also not having external ear. Snake is not having external ear. Cat is having external ear. Fish, frog, sparrow, lizard, crow, snake, all these animals do not have any external ear. If you see, all these animals reproduce by laying eggs. So, it is called oviparous. Deer, leopard, pig, buffalo, giraffe, elephant, cat, all these animals reproduce by giving birth to the young ones. The animals which laying eggs are called oviparous, while those which give birth to their offsprings are called viviparous. Modes of reproduction in animals. Animals reproduce both sexually and asexually. We had already studied how potato, bryophyllum and chrysanthemum reproduce. It was asexual mode of reproduction in plants. Asexual reproduction. Now let us see that the asexual reproduction in animals. We see different types of asexual reproduction. So among these two methods of a sexual reproduction are observed. One is budding and the other one is binary fission. Asexual methods budding, other ones binary fission. Certain animals, they are not able to produce the gametes. So what are these gametes? Gametes are the reproductive cells. They play an important role in sexual reproduction, in which male and female gamete. Male gamete is produced by male reproductive system. Female gamete is produced by female reproductive system, and both the gametes fuse together to form a zygote, which leads to the formation of a baby. So that is sexual reproduction. But certain organisms, certain animals are unable to produce gametes. Reproductive cells in such animals, this kind of a sexual reproduction take place, and it is two types: budding, binary fission. Okay, now first let us see budding in animals. We observe budding in yeast. Yeast is a kind of fungus. As when we studied the asexual reproduction in plants, in the same way we find formation of buds in a microscopic animal, aquatic animal known as hydra. So hydra is an aquatic organism. It is microscopic. We can observe the forming of buds in hydra or using the slides. The slides are available in the laboratories, which shows the budding in hydra. If you observe the slide under microscope, you will be able to find that. So these are the tentacles, and this is the body of the hydra, and from one side of its body wall, you can find some protection protrusion coming out of the body, which gradually develops into a small body. So we can see some 3 or 4 stages in which a body is forming. So after the bud is completely formed, it detaches from the mother's body and it leads an individual life. So in this way the new organ is of the offspring comes from the mother's body in the form of a bud, and after that the bud completely develops into a young organism and gets detached from the parent body and leads an individual life. So this is called as budding, and here the example is Hydra. So in Hydra the budding is observed. Now let us talk about the second type of asexual reproduction in animals, that is binary fission. So this binary fission is generally observed in unicellular animals like amoeba. If we take amoeba as an example, so you all know about amoeba. It is a unicellular organism, protozoan, and it has cytoplasm and a nucleus, but its body is comprised of only one cell, single cell. Now let us see how it produces the young ones. So we observe the binary fission slide of amoeba. We can clearly see that. So when the amoeba it wanted to produce, the young ones are split into 2 by binary fission. Its nucleus starts dividing and its cytoplasm also starts dividing like this. So where the sharing of nucleus takes place. So what happens is that the nucleus will divided into 2 and the cytoplasm also divided into 2, and finally the amoeba it divides into 2. So one parent amoeba it splits into 2 daughter amoeba. So this is binary fission. 1 becomes to 2. Binary fission means the division. So the body of amoeba is split into 2 young amoeba. So there is no question of parent. Here both are daughter cells which develop into young ones. In this way the binary fission is the one of the method of a sexual reproduction observed in animals, and budding is the other method. Animals they show some other types of sexual reproduction, but they will be studied in your higher classes. So next topic, sexual reproduction in plants. Sexual reproduction in animals, just let us recall the process of sexual reproduction in plants. So in plants you might have seen that how the sexual reproduction takes place. So in plants there are different reproductive parts, male and female reproductive parts. Sometimes both the male and female parts are found in same plant, same flower. Some cases the flower may be having either male or female reproductive organs. So the female reproductive organs is the gynoecium and male reproductive is called as androecium. It will have stamens and the stamens will have pollen grains, will have male gametes. So we know the process of sexual reproduction, the fusion of male and female gametes, even the gynoecia will have stigma and pistil and inside of the ovary. Ovules will be there. So ovule, female gametes. So female gametes are here, male gametes are here. The male gametes pollen grains, they reach the stigma from here. The male gametes, they reach the ovule and fertilization take place in the ovary. So here we understood the concept of fertilization, that is sexual reproduction, fusion of male and female gametes. So that is in case plant. Now let us see how the sexual reproduction take place in animals. So sexual reproduction in animals as like implants in animals, also reproductive organs are there. We have seen in plants they have different reproductive organs and reproductive cells for sexual reproduction. In the same way, in sexual reproduction in animals, also male and female reproductive organs are present. Males will have make reproductive organs and female will have female reproductive organ. So in generally the male reproductive organs are testes and female reproductive organs are ovaries. So we know that the function of the reproductive organs, the function of the reproductive organs is to produce a reproductive cells. So the male reproductive organs, they produce male reproductive cell. What are these? Generally they are called as sperms. So we can call these male reproductive cells as male gametes. So in animals the male reproductive cells are called sperm. And a female reproductive organ produce the female reproductive cells. Female reproductive cells are female gametes. So these are generally called as ovules. Egg. So these are called as egg cells. And here in male reproductive cells are called as sperm cells. So this is the male gametes. This is the female gametes. So we know what is fertilization. Is an important process in reproduction, sexual reproduction. So the sexual reproduction that take place, when will the fertilization take place? When the male gamete fuse with the female gametes and informs a cell called as zygote. So zygote formation of reproduction, sexual reproduction. Male reproductive system. So first let us look at the male reproductive system. So we might be seeing that a cow giving birth to a calf. That means a mother gives birth to the cow, but how the calf is formed is developed inside the mother's womb. So for the development male reproductive system and male reproductive cells are important. So that means the male reproductive cells fuse with the female reproductive cells. The male gametes fuse with the female gametes in the body of the female. So the development of baby take place, and after the development birth of the baby take place. So now let us see that male reproductive cells, how they are formed in male reproductive system. So here we have the human male reproductive system. So the human male reproductive system is located in the lower abdomen, so near the urinary bladder. Now let us see the different parts of the male reproductive system. So this is the penis, the support of the male reproductive system, and the two main organs which produce the reproductive cells. So testis is, there are two pair of testes which are enclosed by a sac by thin membranous. These two testes are enclosed. The testis is, they have some special cells which produce the reproductive cells. Male gametes are produced in the testis. So here we find the seminal ducts on both sides. Each testis is connected to a seminal duct. So we learned that the male gametes are called as sperm cells. So the sperm cells are formed here, and these sperm cells, they passes through the seminal duct. So here there are some other glands which had some kinds of a fluid jelly-like material which will provide energy to these sperm cells to travel, and here the sperms that are added with the other fluids becomes into semen, and these semen it passes out through this male reproductive organ. Finish. So the sperm cell mixed up with different fluids is ejaculated through the penis. So it will carry the male reproductive cells. So the aim of this male reproductive cells is to reach the female reproductive cells and fertilize them. Millions of sperm cells are produced. So in male gametes are produced in million number, very large number. So out of these large number, only one male reproductive cells will fertilize the female reproductive cell. So this is the structure of the male reproductive system. Let us see the structure of the sperm cell. So we discussed that millions of sperm cells are produced. Now let us see the structure of one sperm cells. The sperm cell, it has got three major parts. One is the head, the other is the middle piece, the next one is a tail. So just this is looking like some tadpole kind of thing. It has to travel. It is only one cell, but it has travel in the female reproductive system to reach the female gamete. So that is the reason it has got a tail for the movement when it have got middle piece in which mitochondria are there to produce to generate the energy. So by that it can move and reach the female gamete, and it has got a hand. So these are the different parts of the male reproductive system and the sperm cell. Now female reproductive system, we have seen how male reproductive cells are produced in male reproductive system and the different parts. Now let us see the female reproductive system. This is the female reproductive system present in the bodies of female. So that is in location the woman's lower abdomen below navel spot. This female reproductive is present in the abdomen. Let us see their different parts. So these parts of the female reproductive system is called as uterus. And female reproductive system has got two important organs which produce female reproductive cells. So in male we have seen testes, like here we have ovaries. A pair of ovaries are seen on both sides of the uterus, left side and right side, and here the ovaries are connected to the funnel shaped end of the tube. This tube are oviduct or fallopian tubes. So fallopian tubes, how many are there? Two are there on both sides. So this is the uterus. These are the major parts, and this is the vagina. So these are the different parts of female reproductive system. Let us say the function of these parts. Ovaries, they produce the female reproductive cells. So we learned what is the female reproductive cells called as ovum. Ovaries, they produce ovum. In case of male, reproductive cells are produced in millions, that are the sperm cells are produced in millions, whereas in case of female reproductive system, ovaries, they produced ovum, that is only one ovum is produced by one ovaries in alternate months. That is in 1 month of time, one ovum is produced. That is, if in 1 month, if the left ovary produce the ovum, so the second month the right ovary produced their, either of that ovaries produced only one ovum for 1 month. See here, the female gametes are produced in limited number, that is only one ovum per month, but male gametes are produced in millions. There is no restriction that only this many number is produced in this month. So anytime they can be produced in millions in number male reproductive cells, but female reproductive cells ovum are produced only one ovum or 1 month, alternately 1 month left ovary, the other month right ovary. In such, in case of mammals like in human, the fertilization take place, fertilization in the body of female, that means the fertilization take place in the female reproductive system. So this is the place where the baby grows, this uterus. So uterus is the womb where the baby, the embryo develops into a complete baby, and it will be a taking birth. So now let us see how the reproductive cells are produced. So whatever the reproductive cells are produced by these ovaries, this ovum, are transferred to these fallopian tubes, and from the fallopian tube they reach the uterus. So the fission, the fertilization of male female gametes take place in the fallopian tube. What does this says? That the female cells are produced in the female body and they are placed in the female reproductive system. So female gametes production take place, the female reproductive system and fertilization, that means the male cell should reach the female system for fertilization. So the fertilization take place in the body of female when the reproduction take place inside the body. We call it as internal fertilization. Internal fertilization is seen in insects, lizards, snakes and even mammals. Means the fertilization take place in the body of female. Next topic, development of the embryo. Fertilization result in the formation of a zygote. This zygote divides repeatedly to give rise to a ball of cells. The cells then begin to form groups that develop into different tissues and organs in the body. This developing structure is termed as an embryo. The embryo gets embedded in the wall of the uterus for further developments. The embryo continues to develop in the uterus. It gradually develops baby parts such as hands, legs, head, eyes, ear, etc. When the embryo develops fully and all other parts are distinct, it is called a fetus. The period from zygote to fully developed fetus is called pregnancy period. Usually after completion of this period, about 270 to 280 days, a baby is born. This is called gestation period. Next topic, external fertilization. You know that it is necessary for the sperm and ovum to come together for fertilization. In some animals, fertilization takes place inside the body of female, while in others it takes place outside her body. The process of fertilization that occurs outside an organism's body is called external fertilization. Next topic, life cycle of frog. In class 7th, you have learnt about the life history of silk moth. Does the larva of silk moth resembles its adult? The young ones of some animals resembles their parents and some do not. When they emerge from eggs, such animals undergo a process called metamorphosis. The transformation of shape of the body occurs during development over a period of time, and only then they begin to resemble their parents. Have you ever seen some fish-like forms swimming in a pond? Refer to the diagram to identify them. These fish-like forms are called tadpoles. Where do you observe them? In nearby pond streams, etc. Next topic, story of Dolly, the clone. Cloning is the production of an exact copy of a cell, any other living part, or a complete organism. Cloning of an animal was successfully performed for the first time by Ivan Wilmant and his colleagues at the Roslin Institute in Edinburgh, Scotland. They successfully cloned a sheep named Dolly. Dolly was born on 5th July 1996 and was the first mammal to be cloned. During the process of cloning Dolly, a cell was collected from the mammary gland of a female fin-dorsed sheep. Simultaneously, an egg was obtained from Scottish blackface. The nucleus was removed from the egg. Then the nucleus of the mammary gland cell from the fin-dorsed sheep was inserted into the egg of the Scottish blackface, whose nucleus had been removed. The egg thus produced was implanted into the Scottish blackface. Development of these eggs followed normally and finally Dolly was born. Though Dolly was given birth by the Scottish blackface, it was found to be absolutely identical to the fin-dorsed sheep from which the nucleus was taken. Since the nucleus from the egg of the Scottish blackface was removed, Dolly did not show any character of the Scottish blackface. Dolly was a healthy clone of the fin-dorsed sheep and produced several offsprings of her own through normal sexual means. Unfortunately, Dolly died on 14th February 2003 due to certain lung disease. After claims of Dolly, several attempts were made to produce cloned mammals. However, many died before the birth or died soon after the birth. The cloned animals are many a time found to be born with several abnormalities. This is the story of Dolly, the cloning. So in this session, what we have learnt: viviparous and oviparous animals, reproduction in animals, asexual reproduction, budding in hydra, binary fission amoeba, sexual reproduction in plants, male reproductive system, female reproductive system, sperm cell, internal fertilization, development of the embryo, external fertilization, life cycle of frog, story of Dolly, cloning. Next assignments. First one, differentiate between sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Next, gametes and zygote, external fertilization and internal fertilization, viviparous and oviparous animals. Second one, compare the reproduction in hydra and amoeba. Note down the difference in your notebook. Third one, why do fish and frog lay more number of eggs, whereas cow and human beings usually give birth to only one at a time. Can animals produce offsprings even without formation of zygote? How? Explain with a suitable example. Fifth question. How can you identify the animal is viviparous or oviparous? So the student in this session completely reproduction in animals. Thank you.